boom. No stress how we say, but we want rum. Up in here, they beg we to chill while we calm down. Up in here, we not going to live till it's all done. Up in here, find a girl and jump 'cause we want one.
Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike you ride that. Let me see you do like that. Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike you ride that. Let me see you do. Girl take the walk. Give me a jam. Pull on your waist. They whip me hot. It's 2 away. Inside our back. It's orderly. That is the plan. Girl I love your habit. I love your habit. Girl I know you have it. I love your habit. Do this. Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike you ride that. Let me see you do like that. Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that.
Watching the way your bumper shaking, I don't mind approaching. Me love how your bam bam talking. Now I got your attention.
Buckle around already. I don't take a selfie, Instagram already. I'm moving like a madman. Whoa, it's problems in this session. Whoa, give me space like a pedestrian. Whoa, and please don't ask no question. Whoa, more up, no water. Party getting hotter. All them gyal me looking good. I come to deal with the matter. Sick, no doctor. Mash up the dance like tractor. Fetting is my religion. DJ is the pastor. Just give me rum, a bucket or a drum. All fall on the ground. Them woman whining down, mass in the place. She whining in me face. Don't take it wrong, it's so we don't get drunk.
Straight off the jumbo jet. 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 Straight from the airport, straight in the flip. Straight off the jumbo jet. Straight off the jumbo jet. Straight off the jumbo jet.
Coming for more, boom. When you see we clear out the way.
Kaboom! It's restricted sound.
When you see we clear out the way. Alright. When you see me in the van, leave me alone. When you see me in the bed, leave me alone. Alcohol in me hand, leave me alone. When you see me in the van, leave me alone.
I see you know popcorn in the article. I'm representing for IamRestrictedZone.com, you know.
Boom! All the fans of soca. Let me see you put your hands in the air right now and push them up and up and up, up and up, up and up. When you see we hands gone up and up, up and up, up and up. Everybody hands gone up and up, up and up, up and up. When you see we hands gone up and up, up and up, up and up. The place go flatten for this. Fretting is what all we know. The place will tear up for this. Fretting is what all we know. I heard you want police. Mash up is what all we know. Boom, anywhere, any venue, anywhere, all we go. Boom, hands up like fitness. Show the world, make everybody witness. On the road with a band that big, and the girls with stand just gifted. One drinks, we know what people business. And if I put them out now, quick. Round here, we don't support no mischief. Cause it's party time, we can't miss this. Boom, no stress how we say, but we want rum. Up in here, they beg we to chill while we calm down. Up in here, we not going to live till it's all done. Up in here, find a girl and jump cause we want one.
Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike you ride that. Let me see you do like that. Back then do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike you ride that. Let me see you do. Girl take the walk. Give me a jam. Pull on your waist. You whip me hand. It's 2 away. Inside a bag. It's orderly. That is the plan. Girl I love your habit. I love your habit. Girl, I know you have it. I love your habit. Do this. Back then, do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike, you ride that. Let me see you do like that. Back then, do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big bike, you ride that. Let me see you do like that.
The way the woman whining like a vein busting in me head. Botany, me love the way you whine it. Yeah, take the pressure, give me piece of that before I day. Botany, wait, I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. So long, girl, out there watching the way your bumper shaking. I don't mind approaching. Me love how your bam bam talking. Now I got your attention. Can I ask a question? Tell me if your man are wrong. Well, I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad.
Only me to me back Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry. Yes, this is, of course, a Carnival Saturday. And while, of course, Panorama is in the air, of course, we are going to continue, of course, to be Trinidad and Tobago and to be part and parcel of our culture. But that does not mean that we will not put on the back burner those issues that are the realities of Trinidad and Tobago post-Carnival. And I want, of course, firmly to welcome, of course, those visitors and give you a taste tonight, as we will do, of course, on Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, if necessary, if you are still here, to tell you what Trinidad and Tobago really is. And you must go back questioning whether or not it's a real place. Having regard, of course, to the, what I consider to be the capturing or the weaponizing of government to the extent that it will become alien to you that a government can behave in a democracy in the way that this ruthless, brutal, despicable a group of individuals who begged for our votes in 2015 and then, of course, end up engaging, of course, in what is called not a palace coup, not a violent coup, but an auto coup, utilizing, of course, the resources of the country. I saw it today. The very place at Golden Grove, yes, Golden Grove, where a solar energy project is supposed to be extended to from, of course, another part in central Trinidad. They are now, of course, preparing that piece of land for house padding because they are not satisfied. They are not satisfied that because of the marginal nature of the St. Augustine and indeed to the Puna constituents sees that they are going to win the elections. So they decide to do it, of course, by artificial means. Of course, the population is wary. The population is waiting. And like Tobago, even if they try, of course, the 3 additional seats and they divided those 3 seats into, of course, PNM dominated. So they thought constituencies. It turned out to be a pie in the sky and an exercise in futility. Yes, indeed. Welcome to Trinidad, Tobago. Enjoy. But of course, this year is a long, hot 12 months for this administration simply because it is evil, wicked, and diabolical.
When you see we clear out the way, alright. When you see me in the back, leave me alone. When you see me in the bed, leave me alone. Alcohol ain't me on, leave me alone. When you see me in the back, leave me alone. Alright.
If you take a knife and you cut my skin, I'll show you go see. We share the same blood. Yeah. All of we coming from different ends. Look deep in your history. We from the same cloth. Go tell me about you, more blessed than me. Take away everything and then tell me who you'll be. Take a drink with me. It don't matter where you're from. All of we is one.
Yes, indeed, of course, this is Panorama 2024. But we have a duty and responsibility. And with all the frolic, and with all the jumping, and with all the, what I consider to be vivacious excitement, please be conscious that crime is in the air, it is lurking, and that, of course, we have another inimical, of course, disease, apart from crime, which, of course, is a microbe called COVID. Be careful, of course, when you are in crowd. And, of course, the best way to prevent contraction is what? Yes, wear your mask and avoid crowd if necessary. Yes, indeed.
She say she only lover, she only friend. We make a wish, now eat with pen, I sleep on a had a dream. Wake up and I make a vow. Soon as everything complete, we saw now. What I do wrong again, lad? Tell me what I do wrong again. People calling me name, lad. They say I get hard again. The bush a cut it, the garden a fuck it, put the clothes in a bucket. But the girl she keep on complaining. When I do it, they say put your back into it. All I know I try. She name calling with another guy. What I do wrong again, lad? Tell me what I do wrong again. People calling me name, lad. They say I get hard again. I buy she chocolate, I buy she rose. I push she out, I take she back, I pick up the clothes. I never leave her when people tell me she hard. And now she find a man and she telling me she done. What I do wrong again, lad? Tell me what I do wrong again. People calling me name, lad.
Yes indeed, but as it is well known and said and well established, old adage that all play and no work make Jack a mere what? A mere toy. And all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. I don't want to be either of the extremes, so I will pause for the moment. And yes, you may well be saying that I have an overlap from last night, because last night, of course, would have been my night off. And I can tell you for the first time, my instep and my heel was hurting because I somehow had the wrong shoes, but I decided not to return because the car wasn't working, so I had to travel. So, of course, I took the shoe that I would not normally be dancing with, my dancing shoe, and I can tell you, I had to stuff certain things in it. I wouldn't tell you. That is my secret. For those persons who may be caught in situations like that, maybe sometime in the future I'll tell you what to do to soften the impact from within the shoe in order for you to continue, of course, to enjoy yourself on the floor. And I can tell you I had a wonderful time, as usual, Spargos, but of course I would pay a visit to the other, what I consider to be outlets for recreational purposes, along Prince Street, along Duke Street, along Nelson Street, along, of course, any other street in the vicinity that I consider to be worthy, not because of my presence. No, I am not that vain. But of course, my attention, and it's based only on music. If the music is like what I just played, then certainly you will attract my attention. You don't, and then of course I will have to skip or make my departure expeditiously. But that being as it may, I just came, of course, from George Street, and I can tell you, those young men continue to impress. I want to tell you, I saw them there, and I want to tell you as well that, of course, we have decided that we will dedicate a portion of the building for a business venture for those young men there. Yes, indeed, I want you to give a round of applause. Yes, it is big enough for them to get a feel, a taste of business responsibility. That is what that is about. Business responsibility. And with it, of course, all the other things will be added. Wealth, understanding of responsibility beyond business, social and economic, because there are rules and laws that operates businesses. They will know that they have, of course, to register with the register of companies. They know that they have, of course, to fill out their taxes. They would know that they have to, of course, develop their due diligence in order to determine how much and who should be directors. They must also, of course, determine who must be the CEO, the person best suited to grow the business. They will be exposed, of course, to the development of a business plan, and they will also be exposed to where they can, of course, find the capital, because you can have all of the fundamentals of a business. You can have land, you can have labor, but you must have, of course, and you can have the entrepreneurial proclivity or tenets, but you must finally have the capital in order to bring everything together. That is, of course, the glue that brings everything together. So that is why wherever you see a micro, medium, or large business, it always starts off with, of course, with exceptions, of course, but generally it starts off with an idea. Then, of course, the idea brings the labor, the idea brings the location, and the idea will have to identify capital to make all of it happen. And whether it be, of course, from a state entity such as NEDCO, or is a private entity such as a bank or a financial or any other financial institution, those are the rules, principles, and that most importantly, in the administration day-to-day of the business, you must now have, of course, your records, what you purchase, your sales, how does, of course, the turnover on a particular commodity, or whether you are going to have a particular commodity which does not have a large profit margin, but is essential, of course, for a customer to be complete. If it is, of course, a grocery or some kind of wholesale business, then if you want to sell to retailers and they themselves have a shop or a parlor, as it's called, you must, and they are selling, of course, all the different basics, then you must have the basics as well, even though they may not fetch a large profit margin. But pulling, of course, the customer base and maintaining that customer base and increasing that customer base, what you are doing by the presence of commodities like flour, sugar, rice, that fetch a small profit margin. But the fact is that if you don't have them, and let's say corned beef and sardines, and of course other items that will have a higher profit margin, the potential retail customer or retailer customer may not come to your business to do business, to purchase. They would prefer to go to your competitor. Yes, there is competition. Your competitor that could provide them with a one-stop shop, a scenario, one-stop shop. So all of that, they will learn. They will learn. Rather than, of course, being lured into possibly selling on the block from ganja to cocaine, and maybe engaging, of course, in not just gun and ammunition running or accumulation, but of course, with that as part of their operations, the likelihood that it will be used for crimes, whether it be robberies or to defend their turf from what I consider to be antagonistic gangs, that must be, of course, a thing of the past. as they get into serious mainstream business. That what we just spoke of is subterranean. It is not what is expected in the society that is called Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, I am not naive, nor my team. We know that while, of course, we had to start in East Port of Spain, George Street and Nelson Street, and because of the advisories against Trinidad and Tobago and the image that the rest of Trinidad and Tobago has about that particular community, we are not naive or complacent not to understand that a tremendous amount of work is ahead. A tremendous amount of convincing is ahead. A tremendous amount of work on the ground inside of the community is an imperative and a prerequisite. Is a sine qua non. Sine qua non. A prerequisite. Latin expressions. Sine qua non. And I say to you that those of us who are conscious will want to not only be on board. I have a friend who listens, of course, and looks at the corridor transformation every night. So long as, of course, he can, and the reception does not preempt the program, but he looks, and where that occurs because he's aware of my tenacity. If YouTube or Facebook play the fool, I shut down, reboot, and come again. That is the level of commitment and dedication. But I want to tell you as well that having recently visited him, we got to find out that he's a golfer. So my little son was with us. And of course, my son became enthused. And he, of course, gave him, the viewer gave him, my son, 2 golf balls and a golf club. And today, we are on George Street, and I literally saw my son training them to play golf. He himself, being, of course, an amateur of unlimited degree. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And he was in Belmont as well, training them as well. I suppose the very presence of the items to use for golfing may have, of course, not only attracted others, because he had about 6 of them. But of course, in those communities not catering for golf, and therefore a golf course will be, of course, should I say, their basketball court and their small goal court will be turned into a golf course. So you know, the ball is small and it's very, should I say, easy to send far with a not so powerful hit. Well, of course, you would know the ball was lost. And all of them, about 6 of them, they went, of course, in the low grass, but high enough for such a ball of that size. And they were, of course, looking. And when I told my son we are ready to go, I saw them emerging out of the grass with, of course, the yellow golf ball that was given to him. I say this merely to say that when you open up the horizon for anybody, any community, any individual, and they and they have the options, you never could tell where they will gravitate to. But what is important is that you give them the option. The Rowley administration has failed to do that. They have failed to give the young people the option, whether at home or as extracurricular activity, or whether at school. There is what I consider to be the monotonous and drudgery of classroom and chalk and board. Now, if it's me, I would have, of course, furnished all the classes with an electric or smart board, so the teacher feels comfortable and there is more attraction. Why? You see, you have to use your common sense. You have to use your common sense. The reason why I started the first community-based computer literacy program in Trinidad, let me repeat, yes, apart from, of course, discovering and initiating the Laventil Technology and Continuing Education Center, yes, and apart from, of course, initiating MLIO, and apart from, of course, encouraging through the Laventil for Laventil initiative to do two things. One, to invite persons who normally would stay and prefer to stay at a distance and listen and hear and know of Laventil, East Port of Spain, Beetham, Sealots. I took the initiative to invite them in. And you see on that screen behind me, one of the British High Commissioners talking to students from the Western Girls and Western Boys Primary School on Charlotte Street, next door to Nelson Street. Yes, indeed. And he was taken as well. We don't have pictures of that because they told us that they didn't want pictures. But he was taken to Southeast Government Secondary School on Nelson Street. So in order for him to get to Nelson Street, he had to do what? Or for him to get to that school, he had to do what? Walk on Nelson Street. Walk on Nelson Street. Understand that? So apart from, of course, the Continuing Education Center, initiated by forming the LFL, the Laventil for Laventilians, in addition, of course, to that, and to, of course, to bring in these important representatives of other countries, no matter how high the country is in the world, no matter how high its status, no matter how much, of course, hegemony it could create, meaning that influence, like the United States, European countries such as United Kingdom, etc. No matter how, they came straight there and we were able to invite them into East Port of Spain, and they walked George Street, and I made certain that they walked Nelson Street. There's a reason for that, man. Leadership is not necessarily natural. It can also be acquired. But some say it's a combination of natural, acquired, and vision. And what is the objective? The objective is to tell these emissaries and representatives of these various countries, most of whom are in the first world or the G20 category, and where, of course, Trinidad and Tobago depends not only to borrow money, but because of their influence, they are able, of course, to provide investment capital, and, of course, technology transfer to Trinidad, because they are the ones that are the progenitors or the originators or the creators of these technology that would be, of course, acquired by the rest of the world. Just as to give a graphic example, just as nuclear weapons started there, but people looking for it in order, of course, to give themselves some kind of status, whether you are well-intended for your population or not. So we can identify, of course, North Korea. We could identify Iran. And we could identify other countries, maybe Pakistan. And we see now that the African countries are now wanting to acquire nuclear weapons. It does not augur well. But the fact is that it originated in a particular place and a particular geographic place and space on the earth, on the globe. And then others wanted, of course, to acquire it for various reasons. Of course, those countries that would have originated it, at least they remained democracies and people could live. But I fear that places like Venezuela right now and other what I consider to be rogue, or should I say, what is considered to be countries that are outside of the acceptance of the norm and considered to be pariah states, and will use these weapons to control their population and to beat them into submission, and not, of course, the best system of government that we know, democracy, to take place. Government by the people, of the people, and for the people. Let me get back to Trinidad and what we have been doing inside of East Port-of-Spain, and why, of course, that vision is necessary, and why we are saying that in spite of the decadence and in spite of the travails and in spite of the pain and ache and, of course, the criminal behavior and murders and of course, robberies and so on and home invasion, we are saying that that grouping of persons from whom or who are the practitioners of these, what we consider to be very offensive acts, they can be transformed. They can be transformed, but not by a government who believe that that must exist in order for them to engage in activities that will apply law enforcement methodologies, material, and so on, and spend billions of dollars there when they could build another basketball court, another small recreational facility, a resource center like what, of course, we are now constructing and moving to. That is the level of thinking. But Rowley and they will bring heads of government into Trinidad at our expense, ignoring those persons who they say that particular exercise was supposed to benefit. And in this case, of course, crime as a what? As a public health matter. Oh, what a buffoon. Oh, what a nincompoop. Oh, what an asinine specimen of inhumanity. Oh, what a tragedy. Oh, what a level of myopia, short-sightedness, when the solution is right in your face. And I say so in two contexts. One, you have the resources. I don't have it, but you have it. And secondly, you have been elected to address the problem. I am not elected, and I am doing it. How the hell Rowley and they cannot do it? How the government cannot do it? How the prime minister cannot do it? How the cabinet cannot do it? Failure after failure. And therefore we must be conscious of that fact. And I say to you, the community sees the problem. The onus is on the community to solve the problem on a sustained basis. But the government cannot escape responsibility either, because they have the financial resources in order to treat with it. Because the resources are supposed to be spread equitably, but in a manner where there is a need for greater focus of these same resources. The government is there to make the decision so to do, and when they are unable so to do, you know it's time to blasted leave. Get the hell out. Get the hell out. People, of course, the numbers to call right now, 339. Yes, indeed. 337-6940. 337-6940. And of course, you can call the other number, 336-6594. If you want to contribute, you want to be on this visionary but very challenging exercise in its nascent stage, in its beginning stage, in its infancy, in its, of course, genesis, to treat and respond to these young men. And as I said, we're going to dedicate part of the property for them to come together and develop a business module. Business module, yes indeed. Let's go straight to the lines. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to you, Lennox, and to everybody on the chat. Lennox is fed, is mayhem, is oil spill. Lennox, that oil spill is very mysterious. Nobody can find you on the boat. Nobody can find the captain and the crew of the boat. Nobody can find anything, because it's like it's illegal to Jumbie send an oil spill.
Yeah.
Because Lennox, I mean, look at what it has happened. People go to Tobago to get away from, well, the fetting and whatever. Because, let's face it, a lot of people don't take it part in it. They go on there to enjoy themselves on the beaches, and so look at what it has happened. But I telling you that will turn around, Lennox. That have to turn around. Lennox, let me tell you something, eh? This country is too much evil in this place.
I agree.
Right? Yeah, it's too much evil. And you see this Lenten season coming up here, they want to unleash the devil's spawn. But you know what? I am sure a lot of people out here, like me, come from dual religion. I from Hindu and Catholic. Are you hearing me, Lennox?
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Right. I come from both religion, and we have a lot of people out here. And you know, it was said that we have 99 God. Well, hear what? My Hindu 99 God and my Catholic 99 God has 198 gods. We will pray to and put on our knees to get rid of the evil in this country. Because the more the merrier, Lennox. The more the merrier. Because there's too much evil and hypocrisy going on in this place. Lennox, Keith Rowley took away, most recently, no school meals for the children yesterday. Right? He took away their life. He took away the baby grant. He took away gate. He took away so many things from our children. And worst of all, what he did is cerebral palsy children.
Yeah, boy.
But Sharon Rowley have no shame. No shame to go and sit down and read for the children in some Mahasaba school. Because you see, the parents not reading to them. The campaign has started. They fool nobody. The campaign has started. She going to read for them. Michaela Pandey going to read for her next school. All the time, all they didn't know the children needed somebody to read to them. All they got to read to them, but I want to tell the Mahasaba and them something. All they fooling nobody, you know. And I'm calling, and you know, Lennox, you have a lot of Hindu people supporting here, supporting your program. A lot of Hindu people. And you must stop. You must try and put a stop to this religious discrimination that sometimes is being meted out to these people. But I want to tell the Hindu people here tonight, all you listen good. You see what the Mahasaba doing? It's as clear as day. It's as clear as day. Look at what Rowley did doing to us for the last 9 years. And don't take God out all they thought and listen to them and vote Rowley back into office. Because Rowley has nothing to offer anybody in this country. Absolutely nothing. And everybody can see it's as clear as day what it is they're trying to do. Do not follow them. Do not listen to them. Because at the end of the day, when you see we catching our tails to pay bills and whatever, they're not helping anybody. So they want to continue. They want us to follow the PNM. Let them go right ahead. We know better than that, Lennox. We know better. And tonight, I'm calling on everybody. All you please be safe. In whatever all you're doing, please be safe. If you're staying home, just be aware of your surroundings, just as if you're going outside. Because you know the criminals and them will feel, okay, police in the down, they could do what they want, as they're accustomed doing what they want. So people, just be careful. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated. And all have a good weekend. Thanks a lot, Lennox, for listening to my 2 cents. Take care and have a good night.
Yes, indeed, of course. That was our external correspondence. We like to call her that. Where, of course, she brings not just sanity, and I'm talking about the converse of insanity. So, sanity, not sanitize, sanity, clarity of vision, and mental, of course, acumen. But the fact of the matter is that we can comprehend very easily and see from round the corner, even though it is opaque, even though it is blind, what Rowley and they are trying to do. And as I told you earlier, they have to account as to why that solar energy park that was supposed to be the largest in the Caribbean and part of the efforts of the government to, of course, reduce the carbon footprint of Trinidad and Tobago as a producer and as a user of course, fossil fuel of different types, or should I say, energy of a fossil nature. Let me put it that way to be more specific and generic at the same time. But yet still, they have abandoned, of course, the Golden Grove land space to put another project, not naming what the project is. It's not that they said they abandoned it, full stop, and they stopped the project and limited it to, of course, using St. Madeleine. No, they didn't say that. They said they put it at different use. And I passed there today because I went to the mechanic in Tagarigua. And I can tell you on the highway, near, of course, that water company, and they were busy clearing the grasslands and the earth and level it off. And I suspect is to put high-rise so as to accommodate people who they would select before the 2025 election. So it's clear they're going to 2025. They are very predictable. And they're going to put their people there before and try to open that facility before in order to, of course, try to capture that marginal seat. That's the Joseph. And, of course, Tolopuna. That is the plan. That is it. Who God bless, no man curse. And evil could never prevail. And a microcosm, an example of that, was, of course, the results of the Tobago House of Assembly elections in the face of Rowley trying to insert 3 additional seats in his favor. Let's go straight to the line. Pleasant good night, welcome. Pleasant good night, welcome.
Yes.
A pleasant good night,
Yes,
welcome.
Lennox. Pleasant good
Yes.
night to you and everybody on the live near and far.
Yes.
Pleasant good night.
Yes,
Right,
go ahead.
Lennox, I want to say that you're doing, yeah, you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Right. Well, I just want to say that you're doing a wonderful job exposing the evil that's taking place in this country and in the PNM. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I remember last year and year before, when Wall Street used to be calling all the program and the Gong report, trying to defend the PNM. And now, I see he take a different position right now. Fact checking these people and them on our George station. Watch that, I taking one I show the other night, Lennox, and I ain't lying to tell you, Wall Street had them on the back burner right now. In fact, on the front burner. Because anytime Google, I want to put the pastor, because he no pastor. Google want to be put out information there in the public. Wall Street and the next guy taping everything and coming back and let them know, hey, or they putting misinformation out there. And Google even goes so far and say somebody from the US, some secret agent call him and tell him he put some information there and it was misleading and this and that. He didn't say who it is, and the apology where he make, he himself say he's sorry that he make an error. He still turn on and blame the UNC for something that happened a decade ago. So Wall Street right now, I like his program and I like what he's doing because he sent a message to them. He will be fact checking everything they put out there, and he say he will make them international. He say all they continue doing what they're doing, we go make sure and expose all here, and all have to come with the truth. So Lennox, before I go, this morning they kill a man in Point Forty when I reach the market. They took one similar plan Sunday. And the information where I get, they say some woman he was dancing on, and like the man and the woman didn't like that. So like when he was coming downstairs, wherever I had to put some bullet on him.
Oh my
So right now, all here for the carnival, all be safe. Be safe out there. See why is right now I in my house right now taking in Lennox Smith because I want to live to see Rowley get the hell out of this office and out of this country. Locked on and listening.
Thank you very much. And of course, that's just one that has been reported. We know of at least 2 more because I wasn't aware of that, and I know of 2 that has occurred recently. In spite of the all of police approach by this government, when they tell you all of police, I want to tell you all of government. Bet your bottom dollar is no government, you know. Therefore, no police could stop. The only thing could get the better side of all is that all of the PNM out of office, all of them, that's the only all. Get out. Get out. Get out. You have outlived your usefulness. I saw something I was leaving the office today, and I saw, I think it had to be Robert Amaro, put up two large posters, and the bands pass in front of Victoria Square, so you will see it. And he puts on the side of it what Rowley said as opposition leader. I don't get me vexed before I find it, You sycophants and apologists. And he said in all certain terms, when a government begins to blame the opposition, I'm not getting it here, so I'll use it. I'll take it from the phone. I'll take it from the phone because I'm not getting it on the system. But when a government begins to blame the opposition for its incompetence, it has outlived its usefulness. Well, that is what is outside on Victoria Square right now. Good night. Welcome. Good night. Welcome.
Good night.
Good night. Welcome. Yes? Yes, you are live. Welcome on the corridor transformation. Good night.
Good night. First time caller.
Good night to you. Go ahead, speak.
I'm from Tobago.
Okay, you're on. Go ahead.
Remember, the structure in Venezuela is very. I think it's Venezuela must got things to do with that boat there.
Yes, well, that is possible with this government. You never could tell. Because we saw that with, you remember the Calcutta ship, and there was one moored just offshore, just opposite Studley Park. Remember that? I was there when that occurred in the of course the efforts of the PNM to tell us that some kind of Calcutta ship came. Well, it's possible. It's possible. That's it. That's it. That's the contribution I want to make. All right, it seems as though we have a communication problem. So, caller, call back. Really appreciate that from Tobago. So, Tobago is saying that they believe that it is something from Venezuela that muddy up that dirty the water, the oil spill that is there. Mystery. No, not even a ghost on the boat. Turned upside down in the water. What it was carrying, etc. We don't know. But something, the fact that there is no body and it couldn't reach there without people on the boat, it means another boat would have taken up the survivors and, of course, the cargo that clearly they didn't want the rest of us to see. It's clear. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. And that picture behind me, let me tell you, again in the vein of young people, those are young people who go into Napa to get work on boat. This is one to get work on or in the prison. And there's another one, look at there, to get work in the police service. In the latter two, for example, police and prison, you have to at least have 5 CXC subjects. So look at the number of young people who have gone to school and have gotten, of course, their certificate, because those who don't have it can't be there. I would love, of course, those guys in East Port of Spain and Laventil and Beetham, etc., to be among them. But even if they're among them, the fact that they're from Laventil brings a certain scourge, a certain stigma that must be eliminated. And that is why, of course, you will see us bringing into the area persons that would have those inside of Trinidad, whether you are a citizen and afraid, have a phobia for East Port of Spain and Laventil and so on, you'll think differently. But more significantly, the authorities, Rowley and they believe that they could write off these communities and see them as second class and fourth class and third class citizens, not people who deserve a chance like what the 1% will get, who they prefer rather, and people who, of course, even though they are incapable of advancing anything, but because they are connected to the PNM, you give them things that would create a worse off situation. The case today in my hand, envelopes. And I want to read where these envelopes are going. As I told you last week, started an exercise where we are going to invite these foreigners to visit East Port of Spain, to come to our resource center. And then, of course, other things will flow from that. Hines and them can't do that. Scotland can't do that. Leons don't have that vision. And I am not in government. I do not have the authority of the people by virtue of the party elections process to be at least have a say directly in the resources of the country and where it must go. Don't have it, but here am I. We're going to deal with that after, of course, after this one. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. We lost that one. Call back, caller. Sorry about that. But stay on the line. We have a little delay. So even if I was a bit tardy in accessing or having you access the live, it is because of that delay. So I have to, of course, appear to be talking whilst, of course, your phone is ringing. I'm here. The open Monday, Carnival Monday, are delivering, as I've delivered already. But let me tell you what we have left back, and I'll read from this delivery book. This is a delivery book that, of course, I had my assistant deliver the contents of these envelopes to various institutions and listen to them. And I want to tell you, it is, of course, I think I read it for you last week before the intervening Friday, yesterday. We invite them to come to East Port of Spain and to neutralize the image they have of that area and to show that they are making efforts to transform themselves in spite of the government and the resources they prefer to, of course, allocate it to the police and for more vehicles and for more sirens and for more guns and for the police and so on and more dogs, etc. When they could easily build another basketball court and at the same time deploy the positive leaders who are there waiting to get their chance to generate the transformation and would not want any of their children to suffer the fate as so many before, being subject to losing their lives at the barrel of a gun or because of a bullet from a gun, whether it be gangster rivals or the police. But let me give you this one still to be delivered. It says, His Excellency, Spanish Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. This one. Yes, indeed. That's where we are going. The other one. This one. Excellency, the French Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. All of them are situated in Tata. If they open on Monday, it will be delivered on Monday. We ain't sleeping. We have a duty to rescue Trinidad and Tobago and to rescue our young people because the land itself cannot be rescued. It's the people in the land. And that is what we are talking about, our young people. We have another one. This one says, Excellency, the head of mission, European Union to Trinidad and Tobago, Queen's Park West. European Union that are present here, this one is going to them. Understand that this is serious business, and therefore, whilst you're reveling, and whilst, of course, you may be in the Queen's Park Savannah, whilst this is airing, I say to you, take a look-see after, and you will be amazed. Another one, Excellency, Australian High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, this is going off. As I said, if Monday, Tuesday, they're there, we deliver, because we want this thing resolved in these communities on a sustained basis, not the temporary, ephemeral, and of course, no-brainer initiatives, but with plenty money. Mainly, of course, I'm satisfied to set up slush fund for elections. That's what they live for. Elections are to do us evil, to be in government to do us evil with our own money. No, we must do like Tobago. We must do like Tobago. Understand that. And of course, Excellency, this one, Netherlands ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, the Netherlands ambassador, another European country that has an embassy here on Edward Street in Port of Spain. Yes, if they are only open on Monday, I tell you, they will be delivered. But of course, they will get it bright and early. Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, whilst everybody else is working. And of course, those who have taken Carnival from the east and bring it to the west, and they will be laughing all the way to the bank on Wednesday. Whilst, of course, each Port of Spain is emaciated, is, of course, devoid of both people and mass. When it was born, the government didn't have the vision to say, let us generate an atmosphere so that the people of East Port of Spain and Laventille can benefit through what is called Cambole. It's because it occurred and they can't change that in East Port of Spain along the bridge. Otherwise, they take it down to the west too and misinform the people and rewrite history. Rewrite history, that's what they will do. But because it occurred there and the people are still there, they start Carnival with Cambole, and you know the significance of it. Because when, of course, the authorities then say no Carnival, we in the East say yes Carnival, and we fought for it, we riot for it, and police officers were damaged and killed for this festival. And you know about the history of the steel pan as well. Today they are all over the Queen's Park Savannah, and they come from all over the country and all over the world to hear this mystery instrument born of a petrol pan, a petrol drum, oil drum, and of course bamboo that is called tambule. Yes, indeed. We know we cannot be sidelined, and we refuse to be sidelined, and we refuse to have others eat voluptuously whilst we suffer and take the culture to the west and the east. You are going to hear in time. You are going to hear in time. Once we settle these young people and the crime and criminality, and they become businessmen, and we give them for peppercorn cost on that Kamala Prasad beside the UNC, $100 for those apartments, and they are going to nice it up because it's theirs, and they're going to feel good about themselves because it is theirs. And mommy and daddy could say, I could leave a will for those who are my offsprings, so that they have something valuable and they could take it to the bank as collateral and begin, of course, the process of their self-development. That is the vision we are talking about, people. That is the vision. And we must not We must not let anyone like the myopia that Rowley and they, because all they're concerned with right now is, of course, trying to save themselves from making a jail, because they don't want to understand there is a fundamental principle. Those who do evil, evil will follow them, and they will have to pay the price, particularly when they would have perpetrated it on people who are unsuspecting and who, of course, repose trust in them, and they have betrayed it. As we have seen throughout history, with, of course, people like Mussolini, people like Hitler, people like, of course, Saddam Hussein, people like, of course, Robert Mugabe, and, of course, right here in the Caribbean, well, I should say in this hemisphere, are talking about Venezuela and Maduro. Yes, it is. This one, of course, the Korean ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, yes, they're rich. And they have technology too bad. And we want, of course, to bring that to East. I ain't finished yet. This one, let me read it. Excellency, Japanese ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, it's going. Japanese. And of course, you have another one. Excellency, Indian High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, this going too. And I could boast and say that when I land on George Street, the fellow called Gabriel Dada, or Dada Gabriel, who was the first beneficiary of the Indian High Commissioner visit to East Port of Spain, right on George Street and Nelson Street, right there, some years ago. I brought them. And guess what? They gave us, of course, the pleasure and the opportunity to select 2 persons to send to India free of charge and at the expense of the Indian government to engage in any stated group of programs that they would want to do. But of course, in East Port of Spain, we believe that entrepreneurial development and the spreading thereof, as well as, of course, because of the inevitability of course, alternative energy to fossil fuel, oil, gas, and petrochemical. We choose solar. And so the next set of persons, when we meet with the Indian High Commissioner, will be going to India to study and to become an expert in solar energy, harnessing, capturing, and the technology. That is what we are talking about, people. And so this one is going, of course, to the Indian High Commissioner. There is more. This one, of course, is going to Excellency, Chinese Ambassador. The government feel that they have exclusive right to the Chinese and to their technology, and signing, of course, clandestine arrangement, including, of course, the Sinopharm vaccine and so on, and telling us that is non-disclosure. Well, I am not business at that point in time with non-disclosure. I am business with the Chinese getting into East Port of Spain, George Street and Nelson Street, and sharing with us their technology and what they can do in terms of augmenting the human capacity building and the generation of new skills, and of course the ability of these young people to make their way and to navigate the choppy waters or the choppy waters of life in order to, of course, deliver with, of course, all the other physical things in place. That is what this is all about. Another one, His Excellency, the American Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. This one, yes, that is what we are talking about. It's a lovely time to be a resident and, of course, anybody at all in East Port of Spain, because there is vision on the horizon. There is salvation on the horizon. And once people are practical, they will. Let me read from this delivery book what was delivered already. We delivered, of course, Let me just turn it. Because in this book, have a delivery that I will, the details of which I will share with you later. It is a letter to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. To the action protocol letter. I'll tell you the date as well. Make you understand this is not a joking matter. But let me give you, of course, what went already. What went already, what was delivered on the 7th. On the 7th of this month, yes. Canadian High Commission, they got theirs. The British High Commission, they got theirs. You saw the picture of a previous one. The German ambassador, they got theirs. So those are the ones. The others are yet to be, of course, delivered. As I said, if Monday they only make a joke and say they open, I deliver. Yes, indeed, I deliver. So I thought it was important, of course, to share that with you and to let you know that this is a serious time. And I want to show, and I showed you as well at the back there, young people looking for work have the qualifications in the main because they would have say what they are looking for. That is to say, the prospective employers. And they had to, of course, respond. And here we are, of course, on George Street. Yes, indeed, that's the building. And we'll be inviting you to make your contributions. Whether it be you have a particular skill and you believe that you're a good instrument player, we will take that. You want to trade them in songs, we'll take that. Calypso, soca, etc. We'll take that. Your carpenters, etc. We will find place to make it happen. And if we can't, of course, we will tell you, you may be able to serve in a different capacity, maybe administrative. But there's a lot of work to be done. And that is the building, of course, that has to be repaired. And they clean it out. They clean it out. And of course, they did so voluntarily, so much so that my heart was broken. Had to find money in order, of course, to make certain that they get something to eat. Because CPEP was coming to do it free of charge. I didn't have to pay any money. Free of charge. And it would have been carted away by the city corporation, the material that came out, and quite a lot. And I will tell you something. The reason why there is not more pictures, moving forward, there will be much more. But the reason why the pictures are limited is because I never believed that they would have able to do what they said that they're going to do. I just laugh because I know CPEP coming. I know the Punishment Corporation will take up the rubbish after CPEP would have cleaned out the building. But they took it on and they found their own tools. The broom, mops, shovel. Yes. And of course, power washers. And I'm sorry I didn't believe them. Otherwise, I'll have my camera there on spot to give you all the details of what they would have done. But moving forward, you will have the other parts of it. And of course, I've contacted the Army Corps that deals with the engineering corps, the civil engineering corps of the Army that deals, of course, with the rehabilitation of buildings, etc. You know where I'm going with that. And I met with them today, and I told them that what I want, young people must participate. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night.
Ah, yes, my brother, the Honorable Doctor. Good night. How are you?
I'm fighting up and fighting up and fighting up.
Yeah. Well, my brother, I wish you all God's blessing and all that I'm listening to you speaking about here. Now, I don't know how come I was going through YouTube what day it was, and I find Mother Bernie video.
Uh-huh.
The last one she spoke the day after when Dum Dum and them had their meeting in San Juan.
Yeah.
You heard that or anything of the sort?
Somebody was telling me about it, but I didn't look for it, but I suppose it's easy to find it. So if you give me an idea, I will certainly bring it. Yeah.
What is that? Mother Bernie not easy.
I know.
Mother Bernie not easy. But I listen to every woman say, this man really a prostitute in truth, you know. Oh God. He not the real wajang in truth.
All over the place.
All over the place. These people in the crime talking about all this goodness. All this goodness they want to do for the country. And this dum-dum telling Johnny Abraham to shut up. A man like Johnny Abraham, who had this country under lockdown and all kind of people couldn't get away from Chaguanas. Has Chaguanas clean. People sleeping good. Look what happening now. People had to start to put steel sheet in front of the door and all kind of things just now.
Yeah.
Because these people and them are doing nothing good. Because she say here what happening, we get them out of the Tobago and they don't want them back there. Right?
That's right.
That's and right. If people in Trinidad and Tobago area like that, when he tell them they're stupid here, they're stupid not to get rid of him. That is why. But people are stupid not to get rid of them in Tobago. But Tobago people have plenty sense. But you see this boat that capsized and all up Tobago Beach, making all the place look shitty now.
God, boy,
Tobago is such a nice place, boy.
Yeah,
I remember when I was over there working on the NEO plant.
If I was at Tobago, yeah, that'd be
6 o'clock in the morning, we in the sea.
Yeah.
But how? I got Trinidad and I vexed because since I come back from Tobago, I never win a beach in Trinidad. I never go to a beach. All right, my brother. I know that callers could come in, so let me cut short.
Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. But thank you very much, of course, for that update. Thank you very much for that update. I mean, always very concise, but of course to the point. And I think that is a good thing because, of course, we all want to learn, and we must learn from each other. Yeah. But of course, he raised a very significant point about Johnny Abraham. But to me, the greatest insult, the greatest inexcusable utterance coming from that miscreant, criminal, pedophile, rapist called Christopher Rowley, some kind of doctor he say he has. Let's go to the lines first. You know, I give you that first, and then I will state it afterwards. I'll state my position afterwards. A pleasant good night. Welcome.
Good night. Yeah, good night, Uncle Lennox. Good night, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Yeah, good night. I want to highlight something with regards to crime.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you're familiar. I don't know if you're familiar with the Brasso, Caparo, Flanagan, Tabakina. I don't know if you're familiar with them areas.
Yeah, recently I had some.
What happened? Some years ago, the old Brasso police station that burned down now. Right? So they would have had accommodations in Grand Couva.
All right.
Right? And the people partnership government now came and built a brand new station in Brasso. Right?
Yes.
And they would have had officers stationed there and in that interim.
Okay.
You know, lately, you know what this admission do lately? They put the churn authority in that station down there, and the building there's about no central division, no task force officers in that station. All that station holding right now is 5. Nobody, no personnel, no police vehicles, nothing in that station. So here what is going on now. You have from Brasso, right? You have from Brasso to Tabaquit, back to Williamsville, straight back to Rio Claro, unmanned.
Wow.
That whole right now, or let it go and take a visit and let us see what I'm talking about. That whole area.
I certainly will. I will.
I hear him mention something about will. Right. I want to say something else. I hear them mention something about will, you know, for parents to put things in place and getting them to put things in place to
for the
get their offspring, you know, a start now. Right. Now, let me tell you something. In the near future, when I look through the Gazette, the Newsday, the Express, the Guardian, all of them, when they're watching the probate section, you will be only seeing Latino women will be inheriting all the properties in there. So let me go ahead, Uncle Lennox.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you. That's something to watch. That's something to watch. And there must be something sinister about that. There must be something sinister about that. So we are going to keep touch, of course, a new man. I don't know if he means that men are abandoning the local women for these, what they consider to be, and I'm not being, of course, chauvinistic or in any way disrespectful, but of course I know that people call them white meat. So I don't know if it is that he is referring to. Yes, and I don't. I hope I didn't come across sexist either. But of course, I know people are very sensitive. But of course, that is a reality, and I thought I should of course at least mention that is how people see them. But I was making a point before, of course, the intervention came, that there are scenarios that needs to be critically looked at, and that the present administration clearly is myopic, short-sighted, does not know what it is doing, incompetent, and you have people like Rowley and Hines and they walking around, total charlatans, and doing untold and almost irreversible damage, or if it is reversible, but take a long time to achieve. So it was important, of course, to treat with that, because it is crucial that we understand the task before us and the salvation and the challenges that needs to be engaged, but accomplishable once Rowley and they are out of there. Out of there. So I am not surprised that people like Miss Bernie are talking in the way that they are talking, because Rowley and they will give you a lyrics, an illusion, a delusion, cacophonous babblings, deflections, because their sole purpose is to stay in office, utilize our resources as if it's their private parlor, avoid jail, and hoodwink us that they're doing a good job. Anybody with a practical common sense and with a sense of patriotism and objectivity in spite of your subjective scenario or situation would recognize. So I thought it was important. But let me go to the other topic before, of course, we reach 10 o'clock, because we started early tonight. And I want to, of course, complete on time. But there is a development that you need, of course, to be familiar with in terms, of course, of this government. And, of course, my letter, a pre-action protocol letter that was sent to Dr. Rowley And I'm going to play it. I'm going to let you see it. So you would know, you'll have an idea as to when. And you will judge for yourself how grassy is his ass. I talk about his ass. How grassy it is. Yes, people, there you have it. I'll read from the document itself, as of course you see it there, from the desk of Lennox Smith. And of course all the introductions. And then it goes, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Office of the Prime Minister, Whitehall, Port of Spain. Urgent and by hand. So I just showed you the delivery book where this letter was delivered. But let me give you the date. The 5th of October 2023. Let me repeat. The 5th of October 2023. Tell you this man is a criminal. This is the 5th of October 2023. And he has not yet responded to a pre-action protocol letter. A significant starting point for taking legal action in this country in the High Court. He refused. I've not received a response as yet. I don't know if his lawyers are, of course, advising him not to respond. I don't know. And if he feels that is a joke, I will send a pre-action protocol letter. Somebody sign at the Prime Minister's office to collect it. And he feels it's a joke. But there's another legal strategy associated with it. Remember, it is in October the 5th. It was delivered. But listen to what it says. Dear Prime Minister Rowley, pre-action protocol letter, big and bold. Defamation of myself, Lennox Smith, published on 104.7 More FM on November 18th and 19th, 2021, and in the Newsday of the 23rd of November 2021, and in the Trinidad Guardian on the 22nd of November 2021, consequential of 2 letters and or emails dated 17th of November, penned by Lieutenant Kirk Baptiste, purporting to act on your behalf and your good self, which will reference and extensively quoted on traditional and social media, confirming irrefutably that at all material time, you, Prime Minister Rowley, constructively, intrinsically directed and conscientiously caused, and from whom these defamatory expressions emanated, more so or moreover, as probative and indubitable and defamation initiation was of course penned on a Government of Trinidad and Tobago Office of the Prime Minister letterhead via the Director of Communications Department of the Office of the Prime Minister. In other words, a fella writed to the station wanted a copy of that pre-action protocol letter, saying that I made statements that were erroneous about Rowley when I called him on station a pedophile and a rapist. And he called the station and instructed them by 5 o'clock to send him a copy of that tape. Copy of that tape. Well, subsequent to that, Rowley's lawyers, and how I know they are his lawyers, sent a letter to TAT, the Trinidad and Tobago Telecommunications Authority. I want you visitors to know what is happening in Trinidad. and the level of rapscallianism that is a prime minister who clearly has lost his way and is from the beginning was no good to Trinidad and Tobago. Send a letter to Tut threatening to take away the license of 104.7, the station on which for about a year and more I was calling and continue, of course, on this platform, the corridor transformation, which, of course, I initiated subsequently to make certain that no one must stop my right to speak, one, and two, particularly when I'm speaking the truth. When I'm speaking the truth, I know that you sycophants can't take it. I know you apologists hate the, what I consider to be the messenger, hate the messenger, but they could hate how much you want. Just as how Rowley would say, only stupid, and only could do all you want. I still doing what I feel to do, even though it is immoral, unethical, and bordering on illegality. Rowley still, because he believed the office of Prime Minister, no policeman could touch him. That's what he believes. So that's why he acts that way. Because office of Prime Minister makes you a dictator. But little does he know that every single Prime Minister prior to him had demonstrated some decorum, some adherence to fundamental principles of right and wrong. And when, of course, the population is disquiet about something, they make adjustments to please, to appease. But he continues, as we saw, he has continued to do with respect to procurement within his cabinet. As we saw what he continues to do, use aggression as the best form of defense and attack all of his opponents, including those within the PNM. And telling us that he's like a scent he can't change. I suppose what he really wants to say is, since his ugliness cannot change, a face only a mother would love, he believes that he can't change either. He can't change that face. Ugly son of a bitch. But let's continue. And it continues, my pre-action protocol letter. I'll just read 2 paragraphs tonight. And if you call in, of course, and you want to comment, no problem. Further, confirming of your malicious, scurrilous, verbal, and of course, choreography designed to defame me and bring me into odium, disgrace, humiliation, and societal questioning my integrity have culminated in a letter that recently came to my attention and dated December 14th, 2021, from your attorney at law, Celeste Jules, and copied to attorneys Michael Comina and, of course, Miss Anada Bain. A copy attached, so I put a copy of it attached. Directed, addressed to Miss Shanda Moore, Regulatory Officer, the Trinidad and Tobago Telecommunication Authority, number 58 Avenue Extension, off 12th Street, Barataria. The contents of this said letter purports to be on your instructions and acting on behalf of Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West, political leader of the People's National Movement, I'm quoting from the letter, and Prime Minister of, that is what the letter to Tat was saying, they act on behalf of Rowley. And they say now, I quoted from the letter, I act on my own, I'm saying now, I act on my own behalf as a litigant in person, pursuant of and possible under the civil, make possible under the civil proceedings rules 1998. That provides me, consistent with what I said, I want no UNC lawyer for them to say it's UNC set up that. That's the reason for that. Rowley will face me, manos. He go bring you big time lawyers and them. That's all right. The truth is ultimate and what I consider to be a sacrosanct defense to defamation. So he must say whether or not I was lying on him. And it continues. I'm a former teacher of over 10 years, a community and social activist, social activist, devoted to the Laventils in the main. I am the founder of several social, community, human developmental intervention initiatives both in this country and in the Caribbean. I am the holder of a diploma in forensic analysis, criminology in essence, a master's degree in criminology, and of course several academic credentials in business management and socio-economic strategic interventions. I have worked in several Caribbean territories in relation to project and program design, management, monitoring and evaluation, in alignment with the United Nations Millennium Goals of Poverty Reduction, Grenada, St. Vincent, Barbados, Belize, etc. In addition to being a regular invitee and contributor to the NGO Forum of the annual meeting of the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. I have served in the Trinidad and Tobago Senate as a temporary senator, held several state board directorship appointments, including the Small Business Development Company, the Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards, and the East Port of Spain Development Company, on which I served as vice chairman. I was responsible for identifying and developing the original physical curriculum and operational functionality protocol for the Laventil Technology and Continuing Education Facility, located on the Eastern Main Road, Laventil. I'm also the founder of Litigants in Person, Trinidad and Tobago, specifically aimed at assisting the non-esoteric with the prohibitive cost and complexities and issues incidental thereto, targeting the indigent, seeking, accessing justice through the courts. Yes, people. Yes, people. It is 7 pages long. 7 pages long. You know, he don't like to read something 6 pages because Kamala Prasad Missa's letter to him on Crime Talks was 6 pages long, and he said it was long. So I could imagine he probably didn't read this at all because it's 7 pages. But that's all right. We'll deal with it in due course. This is a long, hot 12 months. I told you so. I told you so. It's not by accident I'm reading this or highlighting this tonight. We have about 7 minutes more, so tomorrow I will, of course, complete. Apart from being responsible through the MLIO Trade School, which I founded, for providing vocational skills training for over 6,000 troubled youth from Laventille and environs between 1986 and 1999. I have met with, facilitated, and of course caused to visit East Port of Spain, Laventille, Mova, Silat, Sabitam, etc. Several foreign, locally based emissaries or ambassadors or high commissioners from several countries, the United Kingdom, Germany, the United States, India, etc., etc. So it's not by accident I am doing this tonight, which of course I showed you in terms of what is going out there. And if they open, as I said, on Monday, I deliver. It's not by accident. It is contained in this that I've done many moons ago. Since 1984, I've been doing this. Trying, of course, to generate the motivation and the tenacity and the vision and the encouragement, not just of the young people, but of course the adults as well, and the parents to do better. And I have a plan as well as to how we will solve legislatively to assist us, but keeping, of course, these young people on the straight and narrow, because their potential is too valuable to lose. And of course, if we lose it, the outcome is what is happening today. And of course, I cannot overemphasize, of course, home invasion, murders, mayhem, killing wherever. We live in a Russian roulette environment. You could go to America and ask them to stop guns from coming. But let's assume by magic they stop. What about the guns in Trinidad? You damn fool. You ain't know you have to treat with it right here. You ain't know you have to deal with our borders. You ain't know you have to deal with our airports. You ain't know you have to deal with our customs. You ain't know you have to deal with our blasted ports of entry and non-entry. You damn fool. You damn fool. So it continues. United Kingdom, Germany, etc. Yes. And of course, all in an attempt to aid in addressing the volatile socio-economic and psycho-cultural issues affecting these communities, designed with the specific objective of reducing, or should I say, discontinuance of adversaries against Trinidad and Tobago. Long time I've done that to try to advise, but every time Rowley come in, every time the PNM come, the advisories go up, and therefore the first port of call for any citizen, especially those who have the responsibility to vote 18 years and over. You have the responsibility to save our young one as well. By getting rid of Rowley, and they could put how much house padding in Tunapuna, in St. Augustine, wherever they want. Just as how they tried that in Tobago. And the first return that must be declared unanimously in favor of the UNC and whatever configuration for the next election, the national election, is that Rowley would lose his seat. It must be announced that Rowley lost his seat and begin the process, of course, of that coward, that hollow, that superficial individual, that fellow who is suffering from an acute case of inferiority complex, projecting, of course, the short man syndrome. You know, short men like to feel if they're in position of power to, of course, tower above all else. But, of course, in an elusive state and sometimes very narcissistic in terms of their assessment. But let's continue. So all attempt to do that against the foreign direct and of course indirect investment, because when we do not address that, foreign direct investment will not come. Rowley Government itself preventing, and then on the ground in Laverton and these places, hearing all these murders, foreign investment will come. Rowley himself is an impediment. You know, over the last 8 years, foreign direct investment has dried up, and that is a government fault, a government cause, a government responsibility. But advisories against Trinidad and Tobago, where they mention Nelson Street and the Savannah and so on, of course that's a community one. But the central government, the cabinet, the government is responsible for all of that. So we're not going to absolve them from what is happening on Nelson Street and Duncan Street and George Street, etc. No. They must know that this so-called all-of-government approach is a farce. It's a figment of their pernicious and evil imagination, because once they are in office, more murders just skyrocket. So we continue. Against foreign direct, of course, in investment, employment, economic advancement, and of course, development in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me read the final paragraph because it's now 10. So let me read the final paragraphs quick that I want to read for you. That is on page 2. We have page 3 to 7 to go. So tomorrow we'll deal with that. In the aftermath of the 1990 attempted coup, I, Lennox Smith, organized and led a voluntary team of patriotic citizens, along with the students of the MLIO Trade School, to effect repairs to several business houses that were damaged in the coup. In addition to the cleaning of the Red House parliamentary chamber, yes, we did that. And the repair to both Maces of Parliament, yes, that club that you see the Marshal of the House precedes either the Speaker or the President. That we repaired that. We repaired it on the basis that we say that since the majority of the young people who were misled by Abu Bakr joined him and tried to topple an elected government and shoot Robinson, we said that all of us are not like that, and that therefore we would voluntarily clean out the Red House. And when they say they sent in the 2 Maces because they were damaged to England to repair, we say no. And we got a fellow from over working with dilemma. And with that combination, and we took up, of course, donations, as I'm asking for donations now for the George Street, of course, facility for our resource center. We get the building. We don't have the money, of course, to outfit it. And we expect, of course, persons who are conscious, especially if you have the business that, of course, will require, or with goods that is required there, whether it be electrical, whether it be doors, whether it be, of course, cement, whether it be brick, whether it be plywood, whether it be galvanized. We want that. We already bought the building. So we have done our part. But it's to get it outfitted to get these young people to work. Put them to work. Train them. And get them out there to make their contributions. Yes, we did that. So that's the first time I'm doing this. Experience, I've always said, is the best teacher. You sycophants, listen and learn. All you could do is open your mouth in awe, because you never believe one person from Laverton could achieve all of this right under Rowley and them nose. And they could do nothing about it. My problem is that the resources they have, if they were to apply it to programs like these, we solve the whole problem across Trinidad and Tobago. It's billions of dollars, and we must starve them. We must, of course, plug that pipeline that they have to feed their 1%ers and themselves and their friends and family and acquaintances, and not put it where the amelioration and the development of the country could be serviced, and we have a better quality of life and standard of living. That is what this is all about. So let me just complete this particular paragraph before we come to an end. And repair both bases of the parliament without state financing or involvement as a supreme, spontaneous, patriotic dedication and commitment to restoration of our democracy. Restoration of our democracy. This is what depends on the people, and you cannot take guns and go and topple a government. I have not advocated that. I'm advocating, however, that you must be smart enough to use your fingers, your index fingers, once you're qualified to vote. And all you young people who have turned 18 understand the life you save is your own when you go and vote and get rid of the PNM. That's your life you're saving one way or another, and your advancement. Whether you're on George Street, or whether you are on High Street in San Fernando, or whether you're in Point Fortin, or whether you're in Goyari, Icacos, or whether you're in Diego Martin, whether you're in Toko, or whether you're in Tunapuna, or whether you're in Laventil, or whether you're in Port of Spain South, or whether you're in Diego Martin. Once again, any part of it, you have a duty. And the elders, you cannot continue, of course, to pretend that you are die-hard, because you will make the children die hard by that tenacity and that myopia. And of course, it doesn't matter whether over the years you have PNM friends, some of whom enjoying the poison fruits of CPEP under this government, under URP and so on, and they have little position and want to tell you, don't dig nothing, everything is right. Well, look at it as a dagger. When they speak to you, don't ignore them. Continue to befriend them. But you know, when you go to the polls, your conscience, if they don't have any, because 30 pieces of silver can make you a total Judas. So you listen to them as usual, but you go to the polls and you do your duty for your children. Because as I said, what they're telling you is like a dagger. They push it into your heart and telling you everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. Whether they push it in or they take it out, you know you're going to die. You know it is evil. You know that is what they're telling you. You know that they are asking you to sacrifice your children, your children's children, in other words, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and your entire family. You know that is what they are telling you to do. So I say to you, senior citizens, let them come for you. But when you go in that booth by yourself, save your children. Save your children. Save the future generations. From, of course, this movement. And never again there must be a PNM in Trinidad and Tobago. Never again. Never again. It will be the beginning of the end for these rapscallions who believe that somehow they have a devilish right to rule Trinidad and do it in their own selfish and egotistic interests. Let me finish the paragraph. Both bases, yes, with supreme financing or involvement as a supreme. All right, okay, I did that already. And it continues, our democracy that was so violently infringed upon on July 27, 1990. That was when the coup occurred. 1990, yes, for this nationalistic defense of TT of Trinidad and Tobago for this, listen to what we got coming out of the Commission of Inquiry into the 1990 coup. Democracy, the MLIO organization, the organization that is part and parcel of the three organizations that has come together, the MLIO, LFL, Lavatin for Lavatilians, as well as the Shouter Baptist Learning Institute, to set up this resource center on George Street. Listen to what it got, like MLIO. MLIO organization, which I founded, was the only non-governmental organization that was recommended in its report, that is to say, the Commission of Inquiry into the 1990 coup. Only its organization, non-governmental, report for an award, a Special Medal of Honor, at page 215, that's where they put it, by the Commission of Inquiry, which inquired into the 1990 attempted coup, chaired by Sir David A.C. Simmons, K.A., B.C.H., Q.C. I end here. Tomorrow, of course, we will begin and continue on page 3. Yes, indeed, people. Go have fun, yes. But be conscious that lurking from Ash Wednesday in particular, the reality of Trinidad and Tobago. And I say to you, visitors, please call the number 336-6594. My assistants, of course, will be there. Inquire what you can do. Not necessarily money, but you may have a skill that you want to offer. We will be graciously accommodative over time. But as I said, there are several things that has to happen, and tomorrow you'll get another chapter. So have a wonderful and incident-free, because we need you to assist, and not only to assist, but to continue your life. And therefore, the virus, COVID, and the virus, crime and criminality, spurred on by this administration under Rowley, you must be careful. Must be. Yes, indeed. So have a wonderful one. God bless. And we see you tomorrow night. I wouldn't have any tomorrow during the day because we have to go to the building and do some work. We may have to carry in some material, etc. Because I want, as Ash Wednesday come, and at least the following Monday after next week, that we are fully operational on George Street to get these issues operationalized. You will be updated. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. And don't forget to call those of you who have the skills and the resources, 336-6594. Call now if you wish. Call tomorrow if you wish. Call Carnival Monday and Tuesday if you wish. We will be here. We have a duty, and we are mono-focus, and we have one blinders. Mission to save our young people, because it is savable, it is salvageable, it is possible.
I love your habit. Do this. Back then, do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big fight, you like that. Let me see you do like that. Back then, do like that. Let me see you do like that. Big fight, you like that. Let me see you do like that.
The way the woman whining like a vein busting in me head. Botany, me love the way you whine it. Yeah, take the pressure, give me peace of that before I day. Botany, wait, I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. So long, girl, out there watching the way your bump at your attention. Can I ask a question? Tell me if your man are wrong. Well, I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad. I want another wine. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad, boy. Now I'm so bad.
put it on me and got me feeling like this.
Give me what you got for me, don't bother.
This is my favorite song. Can't do anything you want and I won't resist.
Give me what you got for me, don't bother. Give me
You can ping me on this pole, make your body be the control. If the music stop, take a little wine on this spot. Look me in my face when you're giving me plenty ways. Maybe show them how we just stand the place.
The party bad, bad, the party bad, real bad, the party bad, bad, bad. Yeah. From my rich inside the session, I drunk already. I see a sexy girl, I want to walk already. I drink about 10 buckle of rum already. I don't take a selfie, Instagram already. I'm moving like a madman. Whoa, yeah. It's problems in this session. Whoa, give me space like a pedestrian. Whoa, yeah. And please don't ask no question. Whoa, yeah. More up, no water. Party getting hotter. All them gyal well looking good. I come to the with the matter. Sick, no doctor. Mash up the dance like tractor. Fetting is my religion. DJ is the pastor. Just give me rum, a bucket or a drum. All on the ground. Them woman whining down. Mass in the place. She whining in me face. Don't take it wrong. It's so we don't get wrong.
Straight off the jumbo jet. 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 Straight off the jumbo jet.
Coming for more, boom. When you say we clear out the way.
Kaboom! It's restricted sound.
When you say we clear out the way. Alright. When you see me in the band, leave me alone. When you see me in the bed, leave me alone. Alcohol in me hand, leave me alone. When you see me in the band, leave me alone. Alright now, heck it. Like a Baptist we coming down. We beating drum and we hacking dumb. Don't come around cause you know we dumb. I don't care what they say, pushing you down once you in my way. I'm a real madman, I can't change my way. Real madman, I can't change my way.
Fellas, if your girlfriend pass no disrespect about touchy. I that kind of stupid job, no other job no bad like that.
I see, I'm mad.